Today we will discuss about. I think we have to discuss about the outbound email notification, which means how we can do the what you called how you can send an email whenever how you can send the email notification to the service now, and also there is an option in the service now. Whenever we send an email to the service now, it will create the regard for the same thing. So that means how we will do it is, so if you want to go to the inbound email action, so what are the email actions which are sending from ServiceNow to other, sorry, from the ServiceNow to outside of it, sending a notification, those we will call it as a uh, outbound email notification. And what are the email notification which we are sending from? So which you are sending to service to instance, those we will called as a inbound email actions for the same. Now, the thing was what we have to do it is, so now I'm just creating what is this inbound email. If you want to go inbound email action, email properties we need to do. Go to here. If you want to inbound email action, first here inbound properties we need to configure. Here are what are showing, these are the properties. Email receiving is enabled. You can mark as a true. Okay, thing. Let me check this code. Let me check this code. So email act work as true. And whenever we are sending an email, how many times you can send an email? There are three ways. First is the fresh email. That is a new email which we are sending to the system. That's the one thing. And second thing, what we have to do it is uh, so what we have to do it is reply the email. Whenever if you receive email, what we will do it is reply the email for the same thing for it. And now third one, whenever if you are sending to the forward, whenever if we are sending a forward, so that means what are the email we have received it, we can forward to the same thing for it, so that it will go for the seventh thing for it. It will go for it. So see, whenever if your email is receiving to the service now, identify email as reply by these subject prefixes. So whenever if you are sending an email, it will go for it. So what happens? So if you go to the RE, IAW or accepted, inactive, tentative, decline. So these are all will come as a reply email where it will come as a something. Now, the thing was identify email as a forward by these subject prefixes FW or FWD, that will treat as a forward email for a thing. So remaining any other subject prefixes, we will treat it as a what we can say, remaining things whatever we are doing, those we will treat it as a for new emails, that's a fresh email, so that we can for the same thing here. So now the next step is this one. Next one, automatically created a users from the trusted domain. That means whenever we are sending a email, so what we have to do it is uh, you need to create users for the same thing here. Now that means what we have to do it is, so that's I think right now this is no need. And trusted domain, what is the trusted domain we are giving right now? I'm giving service now. So I think these two we don't use it. Mostly we can use these three properties and click on save. Now what happened, we just configure the inbound email properties. So this is the one time setup. If you're done one time, so you don't need to worry about this. That's the first thing. And next one, email accounts. So if I open this email accounts, so I think we don't have email accounts. What happened in the service now? Whenever, if you don't have email account, because ServiceNow has not given any email accounts from last 6 months, that means so that means these are the things that means they have some restrictions, so we cannot do further. So only we can do the theoretical things for this one. So that means if I want to configure email inbound email action, just go to the inbound. I think right now there is, oh, this emails, system policy, inbound actions. These are the things, and we can change the scope to glow work order. See, this is the thing, and we can write it as a new work order creation, something like. So the table, so and which table we are supposed to create the inbound email action. So our table is work order. So here the action type, what is a record an action and reply email. So the thing was the record action and the reply email. Record action and reply email. Record action is nothing but it will create a record for the same thing here. Now, next one, whenever if you are doing something, when to run is the most important. When to run is nothing but when we want to run. So here only email record trade type is select new reply and the forward. So new is nothing but it will send a fresh email to the user, and it will trigger the notification for the user for it. So that means when the user can send a new things for a thing. Now that means here what we have to do it is, so new is nothing but it will be a, so it will do it. New reply is nothing but whenever if you send an email, so we are replying that email, that will called as a reply email. And next one forward is nothing but, so what are the emails we are forwarding, that is a forward email. That's the first thing. And next one only emails from the sender with the required roles with regard this inbound action. That means what are the emails which we are sending things we can do for the same thing here. So that means we can restrict with the role also we can restrict it. And then next one is the execution order. Execution is not order is nothing but if the same inbound email action, the same condition, then which one has to execute the first, that we will check for the same thing here. That means so the lowest order will execute first. So this ordering also will be the multiple. And if we have multiple conditions satisfied, multiple inbound action is done, and one inbound action is done, then immediately if you want to stop that record submission and another submission execution, we can use the stop processing. That's the one thing. And next one, only emails from the sender will trigger the inbound action. That means the user, if you want to restrict any particular user for this, that means the inbound action has to occur also. We can go for a thing, we can do for a here. So that's a basic thing, the defining the what is the role and other things for it. Now see, now next step is the conditions. So what was the condition here? So this is the one we can read. So here, what was the user ID? For example, if you want user ID starts with our user ID, something else you can edit, or else we can give as a body or email subject, something like right. So email subject. So email subject contains incident, for example, so that it will create it or incident or issue, so that it will go for a like that. Whatever we are created, we can write a condition here. So like for example, and so you can write. So what is the body text and body checkpoint? These are all things for anyone. Mailbox message. So whatever we can write the same thing. This is the one. And next one, actions. So actions is nothing but so next one. If you click on this one, so next what happened? The field action is nothing but we'll do for a same thing here. Now the next option. So here, what are the application? If you want, we can configure. So now, what I'm going to do it is, so I'm going to create a user is a whoever is the user. So I'm just from email sender. That means what are the email sender is in the associated with the inbound action, so that it will be the configure the same thing here. So that's the one thing. Like that, if you want to make any other field actions, so we can write for the one. So for example, whenever creating a one, so you want to make it as a email subject group, so that something like if I want to one, so it will do one. So that's the first thing. And here the one. So in the email body, what we are doing is we will send an email in the format. For example, so what we can write is application. So application is, for example, they can give us a ITSM. This is the one. And so what are the other fields we have? Let me open the other fields. So if I open work order, so we are making a module. So that's the one, and we can add a impact and urgency. So I'm making a impact is high and urgency is medium. So now what we have to do it is, so this one applications and the modules and the impact and urgency, those are all will do for a same thing here. Now, so now this one like this, we can send a data and email based in this body format. We can add the same thing here. Now, see, we can add a script here. So that is will called as email dot body. So we can write a current dot. Current is an objective which will be used to create this one. So current dot application equal to email dot body. So what we will write here is current dot email dot body underscore application. So that field we can configure here. And next one, current dot what was the next field? Module equal to email dot body underscore module current dot email dot body underscore impact. And like this we can do it, and it will create a current dot insert record for the same thing. So what like that, what we will do it is we will create a, so like that we can write a script, but unfortunately here we cannot check for a other things, so that we can what we call, so we cannot show this one, and that we will do the same here. So current art insert will create a record, and we can save this. So whenever if you send a data with this specific format, what are the emails which you are writing, so it will automatically configure for the same here. So this is how we will configure a inbound email actions for the same thing. Only you can know for the same thing for it. So here only we can do for the same thing. So we will be do for the here. Now the next step here, it is what we have to do. It is uh, So this is the one. This is how we can configure a inbound action. But if you want to check it, but this application didn't allow the. So this that means the inbound email actions. This was they was disabled for the email accounts, so that we can add it. So that's the one. I hope it clear till now what we discussed. Any confusion? See, here, what are the table we have selected? Here, you can, if you want to create an incident, you can create an incident and you can add the incident, all those things. Okay. So this is the fun something here. So that is the one we can do it. So I hope it clear, right? What we have to do. Okay. Now, now the next step here is how. Now the next step here is what we have to do. It is whenever if you are replying an email, so what we have to configure for the say what we have to update it. So basically, if you want to create one more inbound action, so if you want to create one here, action type and the table work order creation, work order, and action type is a reply email. And here when to run right now what we have seen it, you can same if you have to forward email. If you want to send a configuration to the forward email, you can go with the forward email for the same thing here. Or else so if you want to reply email is nothing but so it will be whenever if you are receiving an email, so that means whenever if you're receiving an email we will send a reply to the email, so that reply to email will come to for a here. So that's a thing how we will execute the same here. So now this is the one the required roles we can give it, execution order we can give it, and from and the condition we can add the same thing. Here actions we can write it. So, for example, if there is a comments, right? For example, there is no comment fields. Okay. So, what we don't have comments. So, okay, see, if you want to comments, whatever comments, if you want to write it, or else we can write like current dot equal to email dot body. So, current dot comments equal to email dot body, so that what we can write it, we can add other things for here the same here. So I hope we clear, right? Like that we can update. So if you want anyone, and also depending upon we have already discussed a glide record concept. So that glide record concept also we can apply for the here also. That means depending upon one table value, we can create another table value. So that means that also we can add all other things we can configure here. So I hope we clear how to do, because due to this email what you called So what we'll call is email accounts was disabled in ServiceNow, which was done by the ServiceNow. So we cannot show this one practically for the personal instance. So in the real time, so we have configure email accounts and we will send the email to the one. So this is the thing how the inbound actions. So what you guys will do is so there are already some inbound actions for there. So you can check this one how this script was written for the same thing. For example, if you update an incident, if I open, see, so it will write a for something here. So I'm sorry, I think it was the script is for inbound email action. It's not underscore, it's dot. So like that, we can write a inbound email actions. So we will configure one. So what you guys do, just check these are all inbound actions which we have. So all you can do for a what are the script they have written and how they are updating one. So this is the basic thing how we can do the inbound email actions. So are you clear on this or any confusion? Okay, so that's the basic thing. So this is our topic for today. If you have any questions, we can discuss, guys. Any doubts on this one? Okay. So if no other questions, the task for today is you just check the what are the inbound email actions which was written for the same thing, and you can read how the script and how they are configuring the all other things for it. That's a basic thing. And any questions on the previous topics? Okay. Yeah. So what we can do is there is already some email and email action. If you want to create an incident, so what are the script they have written? So just check it. Okay. So just because I don't have option to so test this one as email accounts is disabled. That's the issue. Or else we can tell you I can show this one as a practical scenario on the same thing. Okay. Fine. So that's a topic for video.